Have a night, I too. Hope all is well. And today in this video, I just want to talk to y'all a little bit about the decision that I recently made to get my tattoos removed. And I want to talk a little bit about why I made that decision and what it really means for me. So I've wanted to get them removed or to remove them for a while, but I just recently made the decision to really like a solid yes, because first of all, I look at this as a form of branding. I feel like I branded myself when I was in the world, and when I'm out, just like this, I have three, by the way, but I feel like I'm making myself appear to be what I'm not, and I feel like I'm still attached to whatever. I feel like I'm still attached to where I came from. I feel like I'm still attached to any covenants that I was in, that I entered into myself blindly, willingly, still blind but still willing, and even things ancestrally, I feel like I'm still attached to them based off of these tattoos. Now, the reason I say that tattoos are like branding is because if you see a person with tattoos, whether it's a cultural expression or tribal expression, or it is, I guess it's still cultural but more modern like this. Either way, when you see people like that, if people see me, they have an idea of what they are attached to, who they are attached to, what energy they have, what kind of spirit they have. In a tribal setting, in a more cultural setting, if a man was to have certain markings let people know if that man is a warrior, if he was a good hunter, if he was a healer, like a shaman or something. As a woman, certain markings on a woman would let people know whose wife she is, who she belonged to as a woman. If she was married, if she had children, how many children she had, if she also herself was a warrior. These markings mean so many different things. Some cultures do markings to let people know if, for example, in the West, like with gang culture, they do tattoos to let them know which gang, which set they are part of. And it's the same thing in the world. It lets you know spiritually, it lets people know which covenants you are in. So that's actually very important to me, because I am detaching myself from, I'm on a path of deliverance, and pretty much just getting these tattoos removed would be a symbol of that deliverance for me. And even with my children, like being a mother, as a mother, having children, being around many children, I don't want any children to see me and get, just spark their curiosity. I feel so bad, y'all. Like every time any child sees these tattoos and they're like, what's that? Like asking about it, what it is, why'd you, just their natural curiosity. And I don't want that natural curiosity to still be fed by them saying this on me all the time. And yes, you can teach children, you can teach them that no, this is not good, it's not a part of our culture, this is not a good thing, or I did a stupid thing, I was in the world. Teach them about what we're coming from and what we're transitioning out of, what we're being delivered from. But I feel like I can't fully do that if I still have these tattoos on me. I feel like it's more effective if I just get them removed, and I would just rather them see the scars from it versus the tattoo itself. I feel like that's more palatable. I feel like that's more, they'll be able to grasp that more, and it doesn't look hypocritical, it just looks more complete that way. And I really decided to make this video too because yesterday we were going out to the town, and on our way out, we saw some cows, and when I look at the cows, people brand their cows. People brand their cattle. People brand any of their domestic livestock. People brand it so that if you see these cows, if you see these sheep, if you see these goats, brand their livestock so that if anyone sees these cows, if anyone sees these cattle, anyone sees these donkeys, if anyone sees these horses, anyone sees this livestock, they know who it belongs to. And it's the same thing. I don't belong to the world, but I feel like with these tattoos, it is literally a branding. And it even made me think about slavery in the West. I know they branded enslaved people. They branded enslaved people for a reason. They branded them so that they could know if this slave was to run away and get caught, anyone would be able to know and identify which plantation they come from, who's the owner, who's the master, and they can return them easily. They will know not to do us harm, just return to me, and I'll deal with it. It's a symbol of ownership. Each of these tattoos represent another covenant. Whether I thought I knew what I was doing or not, it really just represents different sects, different cults, different spiritually speaking, which spirits were ruling over me at that time, which spirits I was communing with at that time that I agreed with, and I branded myself. It's just like sororities. When sororities, um, like Divine Nine, I know that there are people who get those things tattooed on them. They even do a form of branding. I've seen many of them get branded. I've seen them get branded. And that is another example after they get initiated. It's like another ritual of just to solidify their initiation. And I even know that slavery itself, the reason I say that even to remove the tattoos is like an ancestral yearning to just free myself and break any spiritual ties, spiritual covenants that I entered into, even that I was born into, that I just kind of solidified by getting the tattoos. And it feels so freeing. I haven't even done it yet. I don't know when I'm going to do it. I just know that I'm going to do it. I'm even preparing myself for the pain, if it's painful or whatever. Because I did it. I sat through and got them. So I'm going to sit through and get them removed. So yes, I know that it is also an ancestral yearning as well. And it's just deliverance, to be honest. And I feel like it's really big for me. It's not the end all be all, but it's another step on my journey, on my walk. And like I said, I don't know when I'm gonna do it, but I just know that I'm gonna do it, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to it. And another important thing that I want to say that I also wrote about recently on my Substack is I remember before my cousin passed away, he really was like my big brother because we grew up so close, very close. We grew up like siblings. Before he passed away, he was like a voice of reason for me, like a voice of, like just a voice of reason. And I really valued a lot of what he said. I'm not gonna lie, act like it was everything, but a lot of what he said, a lot of what he said, I listened. So one thing that he always told me was to never get tattoos and to never get any piercings. Obviously, when I was born, my parents got my ears pierced, so I didn't have control over that. But anything else, do not get piercings on any other part of your body, not your nose, your tongue, this thing here, anywhere on your body. Don't get a belly ring, don't get any tattoos, especially not a tramp stamp, the one on your lower back. He was like, no, because he basically said that he basically was telling me that it was a form of branding without saying those words, but he pretty much just said that You be presenting yourself in a certain kind of way and boxing yourself in to a certain, to just be perceived a certain way. And you don't want that. You need to stand out and stand apart. Don't just go following the crowd. Just be set apart. Pretty much is what he said to me. So, and I listened to him. The thing is that when he passed away, I became, I was very depressed for a long time. And I remember when I made the decision to get the tattoo. And I convinced myself that I was getting the tattoo to honor his life, to, I convinced myself that I was getting a tattoo to honor his life and be a symbol of my love for him. But even though I convinced myself of that, I went and did what he was against while he was living. If he was still here, he would even stop talking to me for a period of time. He would not talk to me if he saw me with these tattoos. I know for a fact he would kind of make me feel what I did. um, and that really made me think about, first of all, the world at large. I grew up Christian, and a lot of us, and a lot of people still to this day, claim that, they're following Yeshua. And a lot of the things that we do, a lot of things that a lot of people do on a day-to-day basis are not, even if, we've convinced ourselves, even if you have convinced yourself that you are a follower of Yeshua, a lot of the things that you do on a day-to-day basis, he would send you away for it. Even things with the cross. That cross is a symbol of the crucifixion. Christmas, that is not in honor of Yeshua. A lot of the holidays, Yeshua would send people away for following a lot of the traditions and the practices that are upheld today by those who proclaim to be a follower or a student of Yeshua. But we've convinced ourselves and deceived ourselves that we are doing something in honor, but we're not. And it just represents the confusion and a lot of the things. It's just a loop of confusion. Everything is just a loop of confusion. That really stands out to me because I did convince myself that I was doing something out of just proving and showing my devotion, showing my honor. But I did the opposite. And so now I have to somehow backtrack. Not necessarily backtrack, but I have to write. I'm going to say I have to right my wrongs. And it may be painful and it may not be well, a lot of people may expect, but I'm doing it because that's what I feel in my heart. That's what the Most High put in my heart to go and do, and I'm excited for it. I'm excited for it. That's why I am on my walk, where I am on my journey, and I just want to come and share that with y'all because I shared it on my on my Facebook, and I didn't really expect to get any response, but I did get a lot of support, and not just support of myself, but a lot of people somehow. I got so many messages and texts of people, like I said, not just supporting me, but somehow finding it in themselves to go ahead and get off of the fence and make the decision for themselves to remove their tattoos. Saying that they thought about it and seeing me talk about it kind of gave them not necessarily the green light, but gave them the spark, like more of the confidence to say, I'm gonna follow through. Some people even said I never thought about that. I just thought that I had to be stuck with it. And I'm thankful that I only do have 3 and I don't have so much more like how I was planning to when I was really into it. Like once I started, it's like I couldn't stop. Like I wanted more. Thank God I didn't get more because I was in school and I was working, and a lot of the money that I'm making had to go to books, and I just had to budget a certain kind of way. And before I could get too deep, I kind of, I guess you can say, woke up. I dropped out of school, went the plant-based route, just everything went 360, and that's how I am where I am now. So everything just kind of got stopped in its tracks, and I'm so full of thanks for that. So yeah, before this gets too long, I hope that this also inspires you. If you're watching this, if you're also on the fence about it, and I also want to say, if you are thinking whether you should do it, go a natural way, like do a natural remedy or home remedy, or do laser, do what you feel makes more sense for you. Don't try to get so caught up in being natural and making everyone think that you need to do everything so natural that you try to do things to fit in, because that itself means that you're not being true. And to be honest, it really doesn't matter whether you do it naturally or go the laser route. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Mama, Absolutely. It doesn't matter. Me personally, I'm going the laser route because, like I said, I felt myself trying to attach so hard to this whole be natural thing, and it doesn't matter. I just came to that, like, it doesn't matter if I do it naturally or if I do it, go the laser. I don't care what anybody says about go laser, because at the end of the day, I made the decision to go and get these tattoos, and that itself is an unnatural thing. That in itself is an unnatural thing. And I personally think that it's more effective to get the laser removal, even if it's painful, even if it does come with more stipulations and things. I made the decision to do it, so now I'm making the sacrifice and being obedient to just do what I have to do to get them removed. Um, so, like I said again, I hope that this inspires you if you're watching this. And if you know anyone who's on the fence, encourage them to just do it, because they'll be proud. Um, and it's a symbol of deliverance, like I said. So, yeah, until next time, gotta.